Hi, today is Coffee with My Friends. Here I am in the first week in March in 2022 and talking with my friends and having coffee. Usually I'm at the Starbucks between 8 and 8:30 every morning. I should post my office hours because usually I'll have a friend or two drop in and see me. Got Mike Calicaro, who's a regular at that Starbucks, and he comes in and buys a newspaper, and if I'm there, he'll sit down and chat with me for a few minutes. Anyway, that's a habit that I developed actually long before I retired. When I was working, I traveled the Western U.S. Working for Maytag and Whirlpool and selling appliances to home builders and builder distributors in the Western U.S. I made it a habit to get up, get dressed, go out, and have coffee first thing every morning. And then most of these customers didn't open until 10 o'clock in the morning, and I get up at 5:30. So I had time there to do all my paperwork and do my expense reports and everything else first thing in the morning before I went about my business of calling on customers. I started hanging out at the local Starbucks in whether it was in Long Beach, California, or San Diego, or Denver, or wherever I happened to be. Mostly in the West is where I worked. And so that habit of having coffee every morning, go out to Starbucks, start my day, do my planning, that sort of thing was a habit that I developed as a business criteria. Something I would do is how I started my day, because typically I couldn't call on a customer before about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I was up, and that was well into the day, so I was able to do all my paperwork, check with headquarters and everything else before I started calling on customers. So that worked very, very well for me. And then when I retired, what I did was when I retired, I acted as if I was still at work. I would just get up in the morning, do my regular routine that I did when I was working, and go to Starbucks. And then I'd come home and start my day, and I'd have a plan of what I was going to do the day. And so here it is 10 years later, and I'm still doing the same thing. Get up in the morning, get dressed, have a quick cup of coffee, and get clean up and everything, and go to coffee, and come home and start my day. So here we are now, having coffee with my friends anywhere in the world that you are. So I can do this live, or I can record it, which is what I'm doing, and then posting it online for all my friends so we can have coffee together and get a two camera deal going on here. So I am now looking at the other camera, and let's switch over to that. So now now I'm looking at the other camera. So I've got my webcam over here. It says Panasonic G7 that's been converted to a webcam, and it's got a 12 millimeter Samyang. And then I'm here looking at my Lumix G9, which is plugged into AC power and also wired into the same system. I'm using a 15 millimeter Leica, Panaleica lens, so it's not quite as wide as when I switch back to this one as a 12 millimeter, and this one 15 millimeter. That's a little bit further away. Again, different lens, different focal length, different camera, and different lighting, because the lighting is, I've got a direct light here coming right at me. And when I switch over here, that light is coming from the side here. And I've got another light here, and then I've got a little spotlight down there. So different lighting, different point of view, different the background. I mean, you see the same picture and diplomas on the wall, but it's from a totally different angle. One's from the left here, and one's for the right over here. So yeah, actually, I like this better because I've got that direct light. I should get a stronger light over on the other side. That's what I need to do. Note to self. I'll put that on the list. Okay, let's switch back to this angle. Today is the 9th of March. Pretty soon it'll be the 15th, and it'll be the Ides of March. And anybody familiar with Julius Caesar knows that that's an ominous day. Ides of March. Well, that's it. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on future episodes.